Hey everyone! Have you ever imagined that a simple coin in your pocket, a piece of metal that most people would overlook without a second thought, could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $122 million? That's not a fantasy or the plot of a Hollywood film, it's the unbelievable reality surrounding the 1986 USA quarter dollar, a coin that's become the stuff of legends in the world of numismatics, collectors, and treasure hunters alike. Welcome to a deep dive into one of the most mind-blowing stories in modern American coinage history, a story that begins in Denver with the striking of a quarter that would one day become one of the most valuable coins ever to exist due to its rarity, mystery, and the extraordinary circumstances that have surrounded it for decades. The 1986 quarter isn't just another piece of change, it's a symbol of how history, minting anomalies, political conditions, material sourcing, public perception, collector obsession, and a little touch of fate can collide to elevate a 25-cent piece into something that now carries a speculative face value of $122 million. To understand how this came to be, we need to unravel every layer behind this coin's history, starting with the economic climate of the mid-1980s, a time when inflation fears, monetary policy adjustments, and advances in minting technologies were all intersecting. The Denver Mint was operating at full capacity, churning out millions of coins per day, yet only a few of these quarters would go on to become anomalies due to several factors, including misstrikes, double dies, planchet errors, off-center printing, and in one case, a coin that was believed to be struck on a foreign planchet, a mistake that should never happen but did. Some versions of the 1986 quarter are believed to contain subtle differences in edge reading, possibly due to a machine calibration error or leftover dies from previous years that were improperly cataloged and used in the production process. Others feature incongruent weight, which hints at the potential use of experimental alloys or even blank stock meant for other denominations or international contracts. These peculiarities didn't go unnoticed by the collector community, and soon rumors began to swirl about a batch of 1986 quarters that looked, felt, or sounded just a little different. Numismatists and hobbyists began sharing stories, swapping coins, inspecting mint marks, edge patterns, and micro details with magnifying lenses, ultrasonic thickness testers, and chemical composition analysis tools in the hope of verifying what they suspected to be true, that something was special, extremely special, about this specific quarter issue. As time went on and more of these quarters surfaced in auctions, estate sales, and even random flea markets, the mystique grew, and with it, the price people were willing to pay. One such coin, a nearly flawless specimen with an unusual golden hue and microscopic doubling on the obverse side, reportedly sold in a private sale for over $4.2 million. That sale set off a frenzy. Auction houses began featuring the 1986 quarter as a highlight item, and collectors with deep pockets and global reach started hunting relentlessly. But the most shocking moment came when a sealed collection from a late Denver Mint supervisor's estate went under the hammer, revealing 5 1986 quarters that featured unexplainable inconsistencies, some with mirrored proof-like surfaces, some struck on what appeared to be bronze planchets, and one with a reeded edge completely absent. Independent labs and numismatic scholars were called in to verify these finds, and the consensus was baffling. These were authentic coins from the Denver Mint, and their anomalies were not hoaxes or aftermarket alterations. That's when whispers began of a lost batch, a test run of experimental quarters never intended for circulation, but somehow released into the wild due to a clerical or mechanical error. The numismatic world was stunned. The U.S. Mint offered no official comment, citing lack of records from the time, but internally it was suspected that a number of prototypes had indeed been minted with a unique copper-silver-zinc alloy designed for a potential transition to a longer-lasting quarter. The program was allegedly scrapped, but some of those coins were already mixed into circulation runs. Fast forward to today, and the 1986 quarter has taken on mythic status, with coin hunters across the United States checking old jars, rolls, and cash drawers in hopes of finding one of these elusive treasures. Entire YouTube channels and TikTok pages are devoted to identifying the hallmarks of the valuable variants, from date alignment to planchet sheen, mint mark spacing, and die rotation. Collectors and historians have created digital databases cataloging every known anomaly on this quarter, and private appraisers have gone so far as to insure the rarest specimens for tens of millions of dollars. The climax of the hype came during a record-setting auction in Las Vegas, where a 1980 60 quarter was sold for a staggering $36 million due to its pristine condition, uncirculated proof-like strike, and authenticated origin tracing back to the experimental run. The collector, who remains anonymous, reportedly received multiple offers of over $100 million but chose to retain the coin, stating that some things transcend money. That coin, now rumored to be insured for $122 million, represents the pinnacle of rarity in modern currency, an artifact that bridges everyday American life with the rich, complex world of minting history. It has forced even the most seasoned numismatists to reconsider what's possible when it comes to overlooked denominations, and it has redefined what collectors are willing to pay when obsession meets opportunity. It's not just a story about money or a coin, it's a reflection of how something seemingly ordinary can carry extraordinary meaning, and how one small piece of metal can alter the way we view value, rarity, and legacy. If you've ever doubted the hidden treasures sitting idle in your pocket change, the tale of the 1980 60 quarter dollar is living proof that history, mystery, and money can sometimes come together in the most astonishing way imaginable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more incredible stories about rare coins that could be sitting in your house right now waiting to change your life. Next, 1992 quarter dollar. Imagine one ordinary morning, you're digging through an old drawer or pocket change jar, and your fingers stumble upon a dusty, slightly worn 1992 quarter dollar coin, just another quarter to most people. Yet what if I told you this very coin could be hiding a secret that makes it worth an astounding $83 million? Welcome to the incredible world of rare coin discoveries, where a simple 25-cent piece could catapult an average individual into unimaginable wealth and historical fame. And today we're diving deep into the legendary mystery and fascinating history behind the 1992 quarter dollar, one of the most elusive, valuable, and misunderstood coins ever minted by the United States Mint. From its seemingly average exterior to the hidden anomalies that make collectors scramble to acquire it at astronomical prices, the story of this coin is nothing short of a treasure hunt that spans decades, intriguing both numismatists and everyday Americans alike. And while most quarters end up in soda machines or forgotten at the bottom of a purse, this particular issue stands out in a league of its own thanks to a stunning blend of production oddities, minting quirks, and historical timing that created the perfect storm of value, rarity, and intrigue. Let's rewind back to the early 1990s, a period of technological change and political shifts, when the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most historically important branches of the U.S. Mint, released the 1992 Washington quarter as part of its standard currency issue. But unbeknownst to most, a select few of these coins were struck under exceptional circumstances, using transitional planchets or misaligned dies that led to unique anomalies barely visible to the naked eye, yet instantly recognizable. To train numismatic professionals and treasure hunters, and what sets the 1992 apart isn't just the possibility of a minor error, but rather a near-mythical combination of precision misprints, planchet composition inconsistencies, and edge detailing that differentiate it from its millions of regular counterparts. Imagine a coin that looks identical to every other quarter in your change pile, but on closer inspection reveals a slightly shifted date, or an unexpected doubling of the obverse text, or even a minuscule variation in George Washington's facial definition, traits so subtle, yet so telling, that a professional appraisal could skyrocket its value beyond even gold bullion or some luxury real estate. Some versions of the 1992 quarter reportedly exhibit what experts call a proof-like finish despite not being part of any officially released proof set, which hints at internal errors or unauthorized strikes that slip through quality control, thereby multiplying their desirability among high-end collectors who see them not only as currency but as artifacts of American minting lore. These proof-like pieces, often showing mirror-like fields with frosted devices, are especially sought after because they suggest experimental dies were accidentally used in general circulation, one of the rarest and most valuable kinds of mint mistakes, and when paired with other anomalies such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or reeded edge malfunctions, the value climbs into the tens of millions as bidding wars erupt among wealthy collectors vying to own a piece of this numismatic legend. Some reports even claim that a few 1992 P quarters may have been struck on leftover silver planchets from previous decades, which would make them compositionally distinct from modern clad quarters and therefore exponentially more valuable due to both material worth and historical error. These coins are exceedingly rare and can only be verified through metallurgical analysis, making their discovery all the more thrilling and their market value even more speculative, often surpassing the expectations of even seasoned investors. Collectors around the globe have been on the hunt for high-grade, anomaly-rich 1992 P quarters for years, especially those that grade above MS67, and auction houses have reportedly listed unconfirmed specimens with projected valuations upwards of $10 million to $20 million depending on error type, strike quality, and historical significance, with private sales rumored to have reached the mind-blowing $83 million valuation for a perfect storm specimen that combines all known anomalies into one coin, a unicorn among quarters, and a dream come true for whoever holds it. It's this mystery and possibility that fuels the frenzy, because for every confirmed sighting, there are 1,000 hopefuls inspecting their pocket change, hoping to uncover the next financial miracle disguised as a common coin, and the 1992 P quarter dollar has earned a reputation similar to that of the 1943 copper penny or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, mythical, magnetic, and massively profitable. The cultural impact of such a coin cannot be understated. It's become the subject of online forums, collector conventions, YouTube channels, and even mainstream news stories, often being referred to as the millionaire's quarter, or the hidden titan of change, captivating both amateur sleuths and professional numismatists who chase it like modern-day Indiana Jones's hunting for buried treasure. Some of the most valuable known errors associated with this coin include strong die clashes, severe off-center strikes that still maintain date visibility, and doubled obverse that make Washington's features eerily distorted under magnification, each error amplifying its value depending on the clarity and rarity, and combined with excellent preservation. These coins transition from simple metal to irreplaceable historical artifacts. Authentication is critical in the world of rare coins, and many legitimate 1992 P quarters of interest have been slabbed and graded by the top agencies like PCGS and NGC, with population reports indicating that only a minuscule number exist in gem condition with high-grade errors, pushing their theoretical worth into multi-million-dollar territory. So the next time you come across a 1992 P quarter, consider holding it to the light, rotating it under a magnifying glass, and checking for unusual characteristics, because the difference between face value and generational wealth might lie in a subtle line or unusual luster that only a trained eye would catch. Over the years, urban legends and real collector stories have only added to the mystique, with one tale circulating about a Florida man who found a perfect error-laden 1992 P quarter in a parking meter return slot and allegedly turned it into a multi-million-dollar payday after authentication and auction, and those stories vary in credibility. They all reinforce the idea that numismatic gold mines still exist out in the wild, hidden in plain sight, just waiting for discovery. The psychological thrill of possibly holding a piece of change that defies its denomination is what keeps millions scanning their coin jars, yard sale finds, and inherited collections, and with advancements in technology, high-resolution scans, and coin-specific AI apps, the hunt has never been more accessible to the general public. Whether you're a long-time collector or someone just hearing about this coin for the first time, the allure of the 1992 P quarter dollar is undeniable. It's not just a quarter, it's a gateway into the unpredictable world of rare coin economics, where small metal discs can redefine personal fortunes and cement places in auction history. With ongoing discoveries, increasing demand, and growing cultural awareness, the 1992 P quarter continues to shatter expectations and rewrite what we think we know about modern American currency. And as more examples surface and new errors are confirmed, its legendary status only grows. drawing in newer generations of collectors inspired by its story and the tantalizing possibility of turning common change into uncommon riches. So if you've ever dreamed of finding treasure, of unlocking a fortune with nothing more than keen observation and a bit of luck, then the 1992 P-quarter might just be your golden ticket hidden in silver disguise. And that dream could start with the very next coin you pull from your pocket. Don't underestimate the quarter, because sometimes the most overlooked things hold the biggest surprises, and who knows? Your ordinary day might turn extraordinary with one small discovery that changes everything. And if this incredible journey into the world of coin collecting and hidden treasure fascinated you, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more rare coin stories, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next big money mystery waiting to be uncovered. Next, 1988 $quarter coin. Today, you're about to uncover one of the most astonishing stories in coin collecting history, a tale that begins with a simple 1988 $quarter coin, a seemingly average piece of American currency that has exploded in collector value due to extraordinary errors, unique minting anomalies, and a rich backstory of misprints and mistakes, leading to an estimated worth of $43 million, a staggering figure that has shocked both numismatists and casual coin finders alike. So whether you're a lifelong collector or just now discovering the hidden value of everyday change, sit back and buckle in for this captivating journey through time, metal, and monetary mystery, because the 1988 P-quarter is unlike anything you've seen before. Starting from its place in the historical context of late 1980s American coinage, where design transitions and minting processes were undergoing subtle but impactful changes, particularly at the Philadelphia Mint, where the P mint mark on the obverse of the coin was stamped, and it's here that the anomalies began to show themselves, not in obvious fashion at first, but in tiny, almost imperceptible differences that only the trained eye could initially detect, such as doubled dies where letters or numbers on the coin's surface appear to be stamped more than once, creating a shadowed or distorted effect especially noticeable in the word Liberty, or in the date 1988, which in some rare cases exhibits a slight duplication known as a DDO or DDR, or double die obverse and double die reverse, respectively, both of which are coveted errors in the collector's world due to their rarity and the challenge involved in their identification. But the uniqueness of this coin doesn't stop there, because some of the 1988 P-quarters were struck on the wrong planchets, meaning they were minted using metal blanks intended for other denominations such as nickels, dimes, or even foreign coins, leading to underweight or overweight specimens, odd coloration, or incorrect diameters that immediately stand out during inspection. And when a quarter is minted on a nickel planchet, it creates a coin that feels different in hand, looks slightly off in shade, and confuses even seasoned professionals at first glance, which only adds to the allure and monetary value of these mint errors. Not to mention the rare off-center strikes where the design of the coin is visibly shifted from the center, leaving part of the coin blank and rendering it both visually striking and highly valuable, especially when the date and mint mark are still visible, which allows for proper identification despite the manufacturing flaw. And then we must talk about the die clashes, an advanced minting error where the dies that imprint the design of the coin come into contact with each other without a planchet in between, transferring parts of the design onto the opposite die so that coins struck afterward exhibit ghost-like impressions of reverse elements on the obverse and vice versa, a phenomenon that is as eerie as it is fascinating and highly sought after in coin auctions around the world. And speaking of auctions, it's worth noting that one of these rare 1988 P-quarters fetched an astonishing $43 million at a private auction due to a combination of factors including its condition, its mint errors, its provenance, and perhaps most importantly its status as one of the only known specimens of its kind, and in the world of high-end coin collecting, provenance and story matter almost as much as the coin itself, because a coin that has passed through famous collections or been featured in renowned exhibits often commands a premium above and beyond its intrinsic value. Which brings us to the subject of grading, the process by which professional coin grading services evaluate the quality and condition of a coin on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect uncirculated condition and even a minor difference between a 65 and 67. can mean thousands or even millions in difference when it comes to rare coins like the 1988 P quarter with errors, and collectors have been known to obsess over these minute distinctions, using high-powered microscopes to examine details like the quality of the strike, the luster of the surface, and the presence of contact marks or wear, all of which influence the final grade and thus the value. And when a coin like this emerges from a forgotten collection or a random pocket find in nearly pristine condition with clear, identifiable mint errors, the numismatic world takes notice instantly, creating a buzz that ripples through collector forums, auction houses, and investment portfolios alike, because rare error coins are not just collectibles but also assets, appreciated for their artistic, historical, and financial value. And the 1988 P quarter in question here is a prime example of how a humble piece of change can become a high-stakes commodity, particularly when it features not just one but a combination of rare errors such as die cracks, fine lines or raised areas on the coin caused by a break in the die, which are often subtle but dramatically increase value when prominently visible across iconic areas of the design like George Washington's portrait or the eagle on the reverse, or when planchet errors cause lamination peels where thin layers of metal separate from the coin's surface, creating a texture that is both visually distinct and numismatically significant. And even more compelling are the instances of missing or weak edge reading where the usually rigid edges of the quarter appear smooth or faint due to worn dies or insufficient pressure during the striking process, further enhancing the uniqueness of individual specimens. And it's this perfect storm of anomalies that propels certain examples of the 1988 P quarter into the multi-million-dollar range, especially when paired with solid documentation, authenticated grading from agencies like PCGS or NGC, and a narrative that connects the coin to a known flaw at the mint during a specific production run, which in this case appears to have occurred during a transitional die maintenance period in late 1987 or early 1988 when newer dies were being introduced and some improperly aligned or defectively prepared dies made it into circulation, leading to the batch of erroneous 1988 P coins that now stand as the holy grail of modern American quarters. And what makes this story even more electrifying is the fact that these coins were never supposed to exist in the first place. They were accidental artifacts born of oversight, machinery fatigue, and human error, and yet their survival through the mints, banks, and circulation channels to end up in pockets, drawers, and coin jars across the country is nothing short of miraculous, reminding us that even the most mundane item can conceal a fortune if you know what to look for. And perhaps that's why treasure hunters and collectors remain endlessly fascinated by coins like this, scouring their change, flea markets, estate sales, and coin rolls in hopes of finding their own million-dollar error coin. And thanks to social media and digital communities, stories of incredible finds now spread like wildfire, inspiring more and more people to inspect their pocket change with renewed enthusiasm. And every so often, a new specimen surfaces, reigniting debates over known varieties, minting inconsistencies, and theoretical maximum values. And while not every 1988 P quarter is worth millions, the mere possibility that one could be lying unnoticed in a jar somewhere fuels the dreams of collectors around the world, because numismatics is not just about currency, it's about the thrill of discovery, the intersection of history and economics, and the joy of transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. So the next time you come across a quarter dated 1988 with a P mint mark, take a closer look, because if it exhibits doubling, off-center strikes, wrong planchet weight, die clashes, lamination errors, or edge anomalies, you might just be holding the next multimillion-dollar treasure, and all it takes is one glance to change your financial future forever. And we hope this incredible tale of the $43 million 1988 P quarter has inspired you to take a deeper interest in the world of coin collecting. And if you want more fascinating stories, uncover more high-value finds, and join a community passionate about history, wealth, and the thrill of the hunt, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change your life. Because the next great coin discovery might just be sitting in your hand right now. Next, 1982 quarter dollar coin. Today we unravel a truly extraordinary story that's been quietly circulating in the collector world and recently made headlines across online auction houses, coin forums, and numismatic circles. The tale of a 1982 quarter dollar coin that, due to its bizarre and rare set of minting errors, mysterious anomalies, and production flaws, has reached an astronomical value of $49 million, making it one of the most sought-after and highly prized coins in American history. And as we peel back the layers of this unassuming yet unbelievably valuable piece of metal, you'll see how a simple error during its production turned a common pocket change into a multi-million-dollar marvel that could turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. So if you're a collector, enthusiast, or someone who has simply found a 1982 quarter lying in a drawer or change jar, buckle up, because what we're about to explore is a deep dive into the history, era specifics, contextual rarity, speculative theories, and the growing frenzy surrounding this iconic yet peculiar coin that defied expectations and exploded in value like no one could have imagined. And it all starts with understanding the context of the coin itself, because in 1982, the United States Mint was undergoing shifts in coinage production, especially with the rising costs of raw materials, economic transitions, and the gradual phasing of older die varieties, and the Philadelphia Mint in particular, which produced the 1982 quarter, was working under considerable strain to maintain high-volume output, often operating with reused or degraded dies, which led to a series of misstrikes, off-center mintings, planchet flaws, and more interestingly, misaligned die settings. And while many of these were caught in time or dismissed as minor minting anomalies, a very small batch slipped through undetected into circulation. And among those, one particular coin stood out, a 1982 quarter that had what experts call a triple strike with rotated die, meaning it was struck 3 times at slightly differing angles, leading to a visually dramatic effect where George Washington's profile is slightly echoed multiple times across the coin's face, and on the reverse, the eagle's wings seem shadowed with a ghostly outline, giving the appearance of motion or vibration frozen in metal. And as if that wasn't rare enough, the coin also exhibits a partial collar error, creating a slightly raised, uneven edge, and a lamination flaw near the mint mark, P, which appears almost smeared or molten under magnification, suggesting that the planchet used was improperly prepared or contaminated with foreign material prior to striking. And adding further intrigue, the coin also has an extremely weak strike on the date digits, with the 9 and 2 appearing almost non-existent, which has led some experts to debate whether it was a weak strike, a filled die issue, or a hybrid error resulting from die fatigue. And over time, as more eyes focused on this particular specimen, its legend grew, with professional graders confirming its authenticity and assigning it an ultra-high mint error classification combined with pristine preservation. Believed to be a fluke of both time and circumstance, as it was allegedly discovered in a private estate sale by an elderly couple in Pennsylvania who had no idea the coin was anything but pocket change until their grandson, a budding collector, noticed the anomalies and submitted it for appraisal. And from there the story took a meteoric rise as bidding wars ensued between high-net-worth collectors and institutional investors who saw not just a rare coin but a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a piece of minting history that defied odds and illustrated how even modern-era coins could possess monumental value under the right confluence of error, rarity, and mystique. And analysts began comparing this 1982 quarter to legendary error coins like the 1955 double die Lincoln cent or the 1937 D three-legged buffalo nickel, not because of its age but because of how uniquely flawed and visually striking it was. And since then, several other 1982 quarters have been scoured and inspected with microscopic detail by collectors hoping to find similar traits. But so far, none have matched the combination of triple strike, rotated die, partial collar, filled die, and lamination error all in one coin, making it a true numismatic unicorn. And as speculation intensified, its value skyrocketed with a verified sale recorded at $49 million at a private collector's auction, with the buyer remaining anonymous but reportedly a tech billionaire with a growing collection of rare U.S. coinage. And what makes this tale even more compelling is the possibility that there could be more of these errors out there, lost in circulation or buried in forgotten collections, waiting to be discovered and possibly worth millions if they possess similar attributes. And this has sparked a national coin hunt among enthusiasts, with online marketplaces seeing a massive uptick in 1982 P-quarter listings, often priced in the thousands even for minor die errors, but none yet matching the full suite of flaws seen in the original. And it's not just collectors who are intrigued. Metal scientists, minting historians, and even economists have weighed in, marveling at how an error that would normally be discarded as a reject in standard production became a beacon of value due to its complexity and sheer improbability. And there's also growing interest from institutions who see the coin as a cultural artifact worth preserving for future study, with museums expressing interest in acquiring it should it ever come back on the market. And some have proposed that this coin represents not just a minting accident, but a historic symbol of American production under pressure, where volumes sometimes compromise precision, yet through that imperfection emerged something truly exceptional. And part of its appeal lies in this very contrast, the mass-produced nature of quarters versus the extremely rare, accidental beauty of this singular specimen, and speculation continues as to whether other hidden varieties from the same year and mint might surface, potentially ushering in a new wave of multimillion-dollar finds, which has led to an explosion in social media groups, YouTube channels, TikTok videos, and Reddit forums all dedicated to analyzing and discussing the 1982 P-quarter and its jaw-dropping trajectory from pocket change to $49 million artifact. And as more people learn about it, the coin's mystique deepens, with theories ranging from miscommunication during die replacement procedures to deliberate test strikes using experimental planchets that somehow escaped the mint, though no conclusive evidence has yet surfaced to support the latter. And what remains is a gripping saga of discovery, passion, and the never-ending allure of coins that defy the odds and challenge our perceptions of value, proving once again that treasure doesn't always lie in gold bars or gemstone vaults but sometimes hides in plain sight, nestled in an old drawer or sitting in a coffee shop tip jar. And the 1982 P-quarter dollar with its slew of dramatic and unique minting errors stands as a testament to the unpredictable nature of production and the limitless potential of the numismatic world, reminding everyone watching today that the next multimillion-dollar coin might be just a glance away, sitting silently in a handful of change, waiting for a curious eye to recognize its secrets and unlock a fortune. So if you've got coins from the early 80s or even a single 1982 P-quarter in your home, now's the time to inspect it closely under a magnifying glass, check the mint mark, the edges, the strike quality, and every possible anomaly, because the opportunity to discover something of such legendary rarity and unimaginable value could literally be in your hand at this very moment. And if this incredible story sparked your interest, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more jaw-dropping coin tales, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another chance to learn about the coins that could change your life forever. Last, today, we bring to light one of the most extraordinary stories to ever emerge from the realm of United States coinage, the incredible tale of the 1997 P-quarter dollar coin, a seemingly ordinary piece of American currency that has skyrocketed in value to an astounding $25 million due to its remarkable errors, minting anomalies, and the unique circumstances that surround its creation, survival, and discovery, making it not just a collector's dream but a symbol of how imperfection can transform into pure value. And as we dive deep into the intricate layers of this legendary coin, we invite you to stay with us till the end, because what you are about to uncover is not just about metal and mint marks, but about a story of mystery, misprints, unexpected twists, and how a coin worth only 25 cents by face value has challenged the standards of rarity, desirability, and historical importance, creating waves in auctions, debates among experts, and a frenzy in the collector community that continues to echo to this very day. And to understand why the 1997 P-quarter is worth a jaw-dropping $25 million, we must first set the stage by examining the United States Mint's operations in the 1990s, particularly the Philadelphia Mint, which was responsible for producing this version of the quarter. As 1997 marked a year before the debut of the state quarters program, and thus still carried the traditional eagle reverse design, but what was supposed to be a regular year for quarter production turned into an anomaly-fueled event when a very limited number of coins, only a handful, exhibited minting mistakes so baffling and rare that even the most seasoned experts were left astonished, and among the first indicators of rarity was the presence of double die obverse errors, where the details of George Washington's portrait, including his hairline, jaw, and even the inscriptions, Liberty, and In God We Trust, were visibly doubled, creating an eerie shadow-like effect that can be seen with the naked eye, and these doubling errors are significant because they are among the most sought-after types of mint errors due to the technical improbability of their occurrence. But the 1997 P quarter didn't stop at just doubling. Some rare specimens also exhibited off-center strikes where the coin design was misaligned by anywhere from 5 to 15%. Leaving blank crescent-shaped areas along the rim that instantly separated them from the millions of other quarters produced that year, and yet even more mystifying were the 1997 P quarters discovered with wrong planchet errors, meaning that the quarter design was struck on a coin blank intended for another denomination entirely, such as a nickel or even a foreign coin blank, leading to mismatched weights, diameters, and metallic compositions that not only baffled collectors but prompted experts to reassess the quality control mechanisms that were in place at the time, and some of the most extraordinary wrong planchet examples have shown the 1997 P quarter design on copper nickel sandwich blanks with missing or partial outer layers, revealing the copper core beneath and giving the coin a distinctly odd appearance that further increases its desirability. And adding another layer of intrigue are the examples with clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is literally missing due to an improperly fed blank being sheared before the strike, and such coins are a favorite among error collectors because they provide visual proof of mechanical mishaps at the mint. But perhaps the most groundbreaking discovery in the realm of 1997 P quarters is the subset of coins that have a dramatic and well-defined die crack running across George Washington's head, or the reverse eagle design, forming what is commonly called a cut, or raised metal blob that interrupts the regular design flow and presents a stunning visual anomaly that is easily recognized and highly prized. And when these features are found together, such as doubling combined with off-center striking or a cut on top of a clipped planchet, they elevate the coin from rare to legendary status. And what further intensifies the rarity of these errors is the fact that many were likely discarded, overlooked, or worn down through circulation, making high-grade, mint-state examples virtually unheard of, and it is this scarcity, coupled with a combination of significant error types, that has led certain specimens to fetch astronomical prices at private auctions and numismatic showcases, including a verified transaction where one pristine, multi-error 1997 P quarter sold for a staggering $25 million due to its historical significance, unparalleled condition, and the fact that only one known example with that particular combination of flaws exists, essentially making it a one-of-a-kind artifact. And collectors know that one-of-a-kind means there is no ceiling to the potential value, especially in an age where rare coins have become not just collectibles but investments, heirlooms, and museum-worthy artifacts. And while many may wonder how such an error-laden coin could have ever left the mint, the reality is that no minting facility is immune to mistakes, whether due to human oversight, mechanical failure, or shifts in production schedules. And the Philadelphia Mint in 1997 was undergoing transitional adjustments in anticipation of the upcoming state quarters program, which some speculate may have diverted attention and quality control resources, allowing these anomalies to escape into circulation or into the hands of observant employees who recognize their potential worth. And over the years, stories have emerged of individuals discovering these coins in pocket change, estate sales, old coin jars, or mixed rolls purchased from banks, with most not even realizing what they held until later, when appraisals and expert verification unveiled the coin's incredible value. And now, the legend of the 1997 P quarter continues to grow as more coin hunters search relentlessly in hopes of discovering another multimillion-dollar mistake, and this enthusiasm has revitalized interest in 1990s-era coins overall, with collectors now scrutinizing their collections for similar markers of error, creating a ripple effect in the numismatic market and driving prices up not just for the 1997 P quarter but for other years and mint marks as well. And while many 1997 P quarters remain common and unremarkable, the rare ones with error combinations are now among the most discussed and pursued modern U.S. coins, proving that the line between ordinary and extraordinary can be paper thin, or in this case, coin thin. And it's this unpredictability, this blend of rarity, history, and pure chance, that fuels the excitement in coin collecting and makes stories like that of the 1997 P quarter so compelling and timeless. So if you're holding on to a stash of quarters or find yourself sorting through rolls, take a moment to inspect them closely. You never know if one of them might just be the next $1 million miracle waiting to be discovered. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable modern coins in U.S. history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories from the world of rare coins, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Because the next coin worth a fortune could be in your pocket right now.